I'm Mindy, and we're from the Chattanooga Public Library.
And today we are going to be making natural watercolors with some spices. So I'm going to go over the supplies and the instructions, and by the end we're going to have an amazing watercolor piece made from natural things. Sound good?
Let's go.
All right, let's get started. All right, so the supplies that you're going to need, first off, you're going to need some spices. So today we have a few different ones. I've got turmeric, which is going to make a really lovely gold, yellow, some paprika, which should be a red. And we can mix these two together to create orange, but I wanted to try a little experiment out. And so I have some taco seasoning that is lovely orange that I'm gonna try. And then I also have some dill weed that I'm gonna try to make some green with. So besides spices, we'll also need some bowls, water, watercolor paper, and some brushes. I also have some paper towels just to try and sieve out some of the graininess from the spices, but you don't have to have it. It might add some fun texture if you don't, so we can try it both. All right, so those are all the supplies you're gonna need. So Mindy, are you set?
I am. I have it all.
All right, let's get going. So the first thing that we're gonna do is mix up our paints. So I'm gonna start with the turmeric first. And all you're gonna do is take some of your spices, some of your turmeric or whatever you have, and put it in your bowl and add a little bit of water. So I'm gonna mix mine up with a paintbrush because I don't feel like using a spoon and dirtying another dish. So let's go ahead and do that. Depending on how much of the spice you use, that's gonna kind of depend on your amount of water. So we obviously want it to be more liquidy than a paste, but we don't want it so watery that we don't have any nice color. Also, if you don't like the grain and you don't want to use paper towels, the other thing that you could do is to boil this down for about 45 minutes, and that'll take away the graininess completely. All right, so I think mine's all mixed up. So I'm just gonna do a little like test strip on my watercolor paper. And if it's not dark enough, then you can add more spice to it. If it's too dark, then you can add water. It's up to you. How'd yours turn out, Mindy? Beautiful. And I like that I can see the two different hues. You obviously added a little bit more turmeric to make it darker, and it worked.
Yes.
Awesome. So now that we have our yellow done, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing with for our red, which I'm gonna be using paprika for. I think that you could also use cayenne. It's kind of up to you. But through our color theory, we know that with our primary colors of red and yellow, we can mix those two together to make orange. So it's kind of up to you if you want to do it that way, or if you want to try it with another spice that's more orangey. So let's go ahead and do that. More orangey. That's not proper. It's not proper grammar. So mine kind of came out like a brick red, almost a burnt orange. So I might go grab some cayenne and try to mix that in and see if I can make it a little bit more red. So I'll be right back. How's your paprika going?
Good. It is definitely grainier than the turmeric.
All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and mix my green up. And Mindy, I think this is gonna be the time that you mix your two together and see if you can get another interesting color. All right, so the dill is definitely not fine enough, but it kind of, to make a green, and you probably can't tell here.
Very light.
Yeah, it's very light, but it's kind of fun. And I kind of love the speckled nature of it.
Yeah.
So, do you have all of yours mixed up?
I do, yes. So this was the two together.
Ooh, I love that color.
Yeah, and this was the paprika by itself.
Okay, that looks awesome. So now that we have our test strips done, we can go ahead and start working on our masterpiece. So Mindy has hers all drawn out. Would you like to show everybody? Ah, I'm so excited. It's gonna look so cool. So it's an abstract kind of piece. And I'm gonna do a less abstract piece. I think I'm gonna do kind of like a sunset, sunrise, somewhere in between. And use the red and yellow and orange to really create that sunburst, and then hopefully kind of use the dill as my grass. So let's go ahead and get started. And I love that, Mindy, you went ahead and drew yours out. I like that kind of like planned aspect of it. I think that I might just kind of go for the gold. Get it gold, make gold.
There you go.
That jokes.
We all know our strengths, and mine is abstract art.
I love it. It's still art.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very popular art form. So, yeah, it's more so about how you feel than trying to replicate something. Because inevitably in art, if we are not the best artists and we try to replicate something and it doesn't come out perfectly, it can leave you with a sense of failure. And it's like, no, you're not a failure, it's just abstract.
Exactly. Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
A fire scene would be really pretty with this, these colors as well.
I was kind of thinking about that, whenever we kind of started to plan this, and then like, well, I could do a campfire inspired by the campfire video that y'all should all go and watch. But I was like, what's better than man-made fire is the natural giant fire sunburst in the sky. So these are just a few different ways that you could do this. There's so many other things that you could use for natural paints. If you don't want to use spices, then you could use fruits and vegetables and get a little messy with it and mash them up. So mashing up blueberries would be beautiful, or raspberries would make a really lovely hot pink. There's just so many different options that you could do. And if you're feeling super artsy, you could do kind of like half and half. You could do half natural paints that you have made yourself, then go grab your watercolors or your markers and add to it, and would become a multi-medium piece of artwork.
I bet like tea or coffee could.
Tea are
full colors as well.
Yes, tea and coffee. That is actually a super, super popular one. I know growing up, if I had like a history project where you had to like make something look old, I would always dye it in a tea bath because it gives like a really interesting texture when it dries, and it also is a great color. So that would be wonderful. And if anybody at home chooses to do that, we would love to see a picture of it. You can tag us on Facebook or Instagram. All right, so I think that we are both done with our wonderful art pieces. So Mindy, may I see yours?
Yeah.
Ah, that looks so awesome.
Thank you.
I like all of the warm colors playing off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's really beautiful. And it does remind me of giraffe print, which is...
Yeah, it does.
So this is my sunset. You can't really tell, but the bottom is kind of like a tannish. And so I'm really excited about like the green specks in there. I'm glad that I didn't, with this piece, didn't try to sieve out any of the graininess, but I'm probably gonna do that now that I've done one with it. So I think yours looks great. I'm really excited about mine. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture of it and put it at the end of this video so all of y'all could see it up close. And Mindy, I hope that you do the same.
I will.
Perfect. So thank you guys so much for making some of our natural dyes and paints with us today. And if you do this at home, make sure to take a picture and tag us on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.